What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reacting to the second episode of My Teen Romantic Comedy SNAFU Climax, or My Teen Rom-Com SNAFU Season 3, if you prefer to call it that way. This one is titled That Key Was Never Handled Until Today, and I believe that's probably going to be relating to Yukino, probably? I mean, she's going to be returning to her family home, so it would make sense that that's the key that was never handled till today. Now she's confronting her family and going back to their home. It would make sense if that's the way they want to do it, but it's probably another key or something that they might be alluding to here. Never take it just to have a single meaning. These titles I don't think is a good idea. So maybe they're trying to put double meaning into this, I don't know. Anyway, last time we came back into the show, pretty much where we left off with Season 2, talking with Hachiman and Yukino Yui, trying to figure out what this relationship is between all of them now, because it's gotten a little complicated because there is the love triangle aspect going on, although you could probably make that a love square, love pentagon if you really wanted to. You could make it a love many-sided shape. Let's just put it as that, because God knows how many women he's got after him at this point, or potentially after him at this point, let's say. But Yukino explains her family situation a little bit and what her request is of them to support her, basically, as she attempts to become more independent and confront what she's been kind of running from a little bit. And we meet Haruno, the older sister, as well. And then for the next day, the second half of the episode really took on a very different feel because it was very slice of life between Hachiman and Komachi, his sister. And I could watch, honestly, you could give me a 12-episode slice of life just based around them, I'd watch that. Their dynamic between the two, like, one of the most real character dynamics you can possibly find in anime. Like, of all this season, that felt like such a genuine interaction. Like, it felt like I was just watching someone at home with their sister. Like, it really did feel like just watching regular people. And I know that sounds... Calling people regular people probably doesn't sound like that much of a compliment, but when that's exactly what they're meant to be, just regular people trying to go through life, that is the highest compliment I can give it. And I must also compliment the animation quality, because I just don't know what it was about it, but every movement, even if it was just getting up, sitting down, passing over a drink, having a drink, like, all that just felt so perfect. I don't know what it was about it. It's not like it was animated in 24 or anything. I'm very certain it was still just traditional Japanese animation. But it just felt so... It felt like every single muscle movement was specifically given extra attention. And it just felt so real. I just can't explain it beyond that. So I'm hoping that level of animation continues all the way through the show, because that would be fantastic. It's had a delay, so there is a chance for them to... Well, here's the thing with the delay for this show. Yes, it was delayed because they wouldn't have been completely ready to air it last season, but because they've had this extra bit of time to start working on things, it means that they can obviously finish the show, but there might also be that little bit extra time to improve certain bits here and there, just do some final little edits and tweaks here, which can ultimately improve the show as well. I have no idea how many... I don't know if they had time to make many improvements, or if it was just a case of getting it ready for this season, but it definitely feels like some attention into detail went into that first episode, and I hope it does continue. So, with that said, I think we're going to be returning back to our main trio here, and specifically Yukino. I mean, it's probably going to be Yukino just because of the key thing. That's my best guess anyway. So, as always, these are time-based reactions. Bottom left of the screen, you're going to see the timer for the episode. So I'll count us down 3, 2, 1, play. And then on play, I start the episode, you start the episode. I'm watching the official Crunchyroll version. You can come watch it on Crunchyroll. Interestingly, this came out 23.5 hours later than it did today for some reason last week. I don't know if that was a licensing thing that pushed it a day. But it seems to be back where it should be. So this is going to continue being a Friday show from now on. The only Friday show, so this is going to be a nice chill Friday. Chill into the week before we head into the weekend and the hectic nature that ultimately brings. So, with all that said, I think we're good to go in 3, 2, 1, play. TBS, yep, we start with their title card every time, 5 seconds or so. Back at school. Yep. Hmm. Is he going to be talking about a love confession? Hmm. Oh. Oh. Mm-hmm. Oh boy, we're going back to this moment, huh? Okay, OP time. So yeah, we got this last time. We haven't got too many of the side characters just yet. I assume they'll come as time goes on. Then again, we did get... Yeah, we got a few of them last time. So yeah, that's probably the prom scene that we haven't actually built up yet. We haven't established that they are doing the prom yet. We know because of the synopsis and the OP, but story-wise, we haven't. These characters do not know yet. All right, this is probably quite yep. Yeah, know that feeling. That's the most accurate line I think I've seen. She's not completely sloshed. Ooh, amazing. Here we go. All right, here we go. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Don't just willingly go along with it and hide your true feelings. Just a little. Okay. Very much so, I imagine. Right. Right, yeah. Alright. She wants to. Wants to help in her own little way. Ever the realist. Of course you did. Is he leaving? I assume so. Sure. Very much so. Hmm. That was a very nice little twirl. Um. Well, it's not always. It's not always best to stop someone from making a mistake. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. Obviously. Yep. Hmm. A rarity. Very much so. Sure. It's an older brother you want, isn't it? Uh huh. Sure. Hmm. Hmm. Wow, that was a complete shift, though. Um. Okay. Yeah. All right. You're detaching. All right. What does she whisper? We're gonna be left in the dark on that whisper for a while, I bet. And he's off. Mm-hmm. You can't. I guess they're not talking about literal drunk here. They're talking about being able to let go and like just be carefree. I guess. Just I don't know. Again, why is that in like that felt like 24 again? Club's not happening. Or is it just because it's those two? Wow. You a centipede. Blanket fort? Just saying. Oh. If locked, yeah. The key, yeah. Aha. Alright. Alright, back to the same clubroom dynamic. Well, it won't be exactly the same. Some things will be different here. Still hasn't sunk in for her, has it? Who is it? Oh, Iraha? I've forgotten names. I really have. It's not Iraha, is it? I forget. Alright. Yeah, I mean, as long as it's got the correct input. Probably not that expensive. Okay. Watching a movie? Alright. I wonder if this is an actual movie they're parodying here that I should know of. If anyone knows if this is an actual movie parody they're trying to do, please let me know. Okay, it's a prom scene. Okay. Was it a previous prom of the school? No, it was a prom movie. TV drama, never mind. Because we're going to be doing a prom. But here it's fine. Uh-huh. Yep, as there is every year. A prom. I think our prom was managed by the school, not by the council. Our prom sucks. Jesus. Pretty much all my friends decided not to go to the prom because they thought it'd be bad. I went just because it felt like the right thing to do. It was bad. Yes, dancing. Yeah. Yeah. Dancing. I have history. I have stories of those times. If anyone knows who Psy is from Korea, there's a certain song that was popular around about the time I graduated prom. You can see where that went. It really was hottest. Who was prom king and queen at my school? I don't even remember. Nice try. Wow. Uh-huh. Probably. Probably. And this is how they all get roped into it. But she wants to try. Don't play the innocent girl. Uh. Uh-huh. I imagine. Hmm. Right. Um. Hmm. Right. Okay. Ishiki, there we go. Not yet, huh? Good question. Alright. We're doing it. Complete change in dialects. Mm-hmm. She liked the fact that she saw someone willing to do something for themselves. Yeah. But they're going to anyway. It's a decision I made as me. And of course they will. Alright. Mm-hmm. Well, in a way, yeah. I can see that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Just like in episode 1. Right. Don't push yourself too far. Mm-hmm. It's just a simple response. Okay. But it does mean the club's kind of like splitting up even more, because not only is she moving back to the family home, she's also going to be spending more time with this, so it does leave Yui and Hachiman a bit more alone together, so there's potential there. What did she find? She's gonna see something. And there was something behind there. What was it? Voice cracks, Jesus Christ. You're snooping on the friends. But you're gonna do it anyway. And what's it gonna be? Do we get to see it? We're gonna be left in the dark for so long. I'm gonna guess it's Yukino and... yeah. Yep. Well. ED. Well then, alright. Building up our main trio and going back to the whole romance issue that is these characters. Because Yui does not want to take it away from Yukino. She feels a bit guilty about it. I think we got this last time, didn't we? Yeah, I think we got both OP and ED. If not, good ED. Alright. Do we get any... We do have after credits here. We've got another 40 seconds or so. Preview for next episode? Hey! Finally gonna get some more, is it Saika? Wow. No. Presented by Sentai, yes. Thank you very much, Sentai. And that's it, I'm guessing? Almost? No, that's it, okay. Good. So yeah. That was good. Yeah, so we're getting Saika. Saika's finally showing up. And I was right, it is Irahai. It's Irahai Ishiki. Okay. I did remember her name. See, I'm just about able to remember names that I've watched 24 episodes with. It's pretty bad that I don't know these characters, but I didn't get time to rewatch the show fully. It's a big mistake of mine. So yeah, Saika's going to be back. That's good. He was one of my favorite characters from the last 2 seasons, honestly. So yeah, the romance issue is coming to a head again. So they're obviously building up because we've got the prom. The last episodes of this show will almost certainly be the prom itself, right? I mean, that's what they're alluding to with the OP. It's what they're alluding to with the whole premise of the show. It's going to come down to prom night. And if they're going to have a definitive route ending, which I think they will, I don't know for certain that they will, but I think they will, because this is the final series. They're going to end it here, and this will be the end of the show. And I think, therefore, the end of the source material as well. Because the source material ended in November 2019. So I don't know if the source material picked a route, per se. I assume if the light novel did pick a route and say, yes, this is what happened, Hachiman starts dating this one, I assume the anime will then follow it as well, because that is the actual route they choose. I hope they don't pick the friendship ending, as it were, because I would have liked there to have been some progress to the point of, like, because seeing, when you have these love triangle-esque situations, there is going to be that one character that is going to be heartbroken and let down by it. It's going to happen. So I would like to explore how that character deals with it. Like, if Yui is chosen and Yukino is not, which at this point I feel like is not going to happen. I feel like Hachiman's going to end up with Yukino. I feel like that's what this show's been building up to. That's what I think. Like, if I had to say, I'm going to put 10 quid on it right now, I'm going to bet who he ends up with at the end, I would say Yukino, probably. Just seems like it seems like the more common story pick would be. Yui just seems like the childhood friend character that most people, in retrospect, probably would go for, but in the case of the character, they just don't see him as anything more than the friendly character. Obviously, she's not the actual childhood friend, she's the owner of the dog that got him in an accident, but still. So yeah. I want to see how the characters deal with being essentially rejected. Like, that feels like something that we could actually explore. And see how they handle it, because it's something that you don't typically do in anime. You don't typically explore the letdown and rejection that comes from it. Not normally, anyway. Most romance anime don't even bother to get to the actual romance. They get to the cliche flirt scenes that build up to either asking out or the first kiss. And even then, some shows don't even get to that point. So, yeah. I want to see where they want to go with this. I really do. But yeah, I'm loving this. This is exactly what I wanted. Hachiman's VA sounds better now. Like, he sounds like he's more adjusted to the role again. Like, the first episode, it sounded like he just came back into the role and was still kind of like finding where the voice was meant to be. This time, I think he's back to a place where I would need to compare it to Season 1 and Season 2, obviously, of where his voice was, because I don't remember off the top of my head, but this feels much more natural, like a Hachiman voice. To me, anyway. So that's good. And like I said, we're getting Saika next time. I wonder if we're going to get Yoshiteru, if he's going to make an appearance. I mean, he's going to make an appearance, obviously. But when is he going to make an appearance? Be interesting to see. But yeah, the animation, again, like, there were just certain moments where it's like, I swear they switched to 24, or they switched to something more than just normal traditional Japanese animation. And there are some aspects where I'm like, was that CG? Like, there are just these little moments where, like, the lines around, like, particularly hands. There was one scene where, I think someone was grabbing another's hand and they had a close-up of the hands as they touched. I could have sworn that looked CG almost. I'm just like, was it or was it not? I'm genuinely questioning how they're actually doing this show, because obviously it's traditional animation. I can't tell if they're using CG at certain points, and I can't tell if they're adjusting frame rates at certain points. It feels like they are, in both cases, but I genuinely don't know. But it looks good for it, so I'm not going to complain about it whatsoever. This is a compliment of it. for potentially using those techniques. But we've also set up the prom scene now, so we know what the prom is going to be about. It's mainly Yukino and Iraha's responsibility. Obviously, they'll get roped into it as well, just because ultimately they're going to be needed to get this to happen smoothly, more than likely. And then the prom is, of course, where it's going to be, where the big "will you go out with me" will probably happen. Probably. Or, okay, maybe. I can see an instance, although I would probably say this is my least favourite way for it to end, but I would still accept it, is if they all agree that they've learnt a lot from this friendship together, and that their feelings, that they don't think pursuing those feelings is going to be, they don't want to break the dynamic they have already. They don't want to risk breaking that, because that's definitely what Yui feels like. Yui doesn't want to step on Yukino's toes here. At least that's what I'm getting from the revelation at the end of the episode when she found that image tucked away behind the stuffed toy. I'm taking that as Yui thinking, is it right for me to be selfish and take him away from her? I wonder if Yukino's thinking the same about Yui or not yet. It would be interesting. But again, that's just a very nice dilemma to explore, and I hope we do explore it. I mean, if we've established it in episode 2, we're obviously going to explore it some more. And we'll see it in her mannerisms and such, because we've seen a lot of Yui's mannerisms, and her general cheerful, bubbly attitude is very much present most of the time, but then you just, because you have such a cheerful character, it becomes so much more obvious when that cheerfulness is absent, and you can tell that something is weighing on their mind. Like, when you have an indifferent character like Hachiman, it can be hard to tell when his general demeanor is changing. Like, it's very subtle for him. And to an extent, Yukino as well. Because you don't have the huge contrast between super bubbly and serious thinking about things. They're so much more closer to that. It's like, yes, there is a change, but it's like this instead of like this. So that'd be interesting to see. But yeah, I'm loving this show. Absolutely loving it. I'm glad it's come back to its Friday slot, because that means Saturdays are less burdened. It also means I have a show for Friday now, because if this didn't return to its planned slot, I wouldn't have actually had a Friday show, and I've had to come up with something different for both of the... well, no, I would have had Millionaire Detective when that comes back in... Is that 2 weeks' time? Is it 2 weeks or 3 weeks? I must double check. 2 weeks' time. Ooh, we are getting close. We are getting close indeed. So in 2 weeks' time, we'll be having Millionaire Detective on this slot as well. So sometime in the next week, I'll be putting up episode 1 and 2 redirects for that reaction, and then we'll be going into episode 3 when it airs. Was this a Funimation show? I get the feeling this probably was a Funimation show. First episode came back, by the way, today. So if you're watching this, the first episode re-aired on Japanese television, so I assume some of you will be watching it as well, just out of interest. All right, but yeah, that's gonna do it for today, guys. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'm loving the show as per usual. I feel like all the groundwork we did to build up these characters is now coming to a head now, with dilemmas starting to make themselves very much apparent. And the romance aspect really starting to ramp up a little bit as we get into prom scene, which is inherently seen as a romantic affiliation. Like, I'm sure that that connotation goes around with most proms. Like, if you've been to a prom, there's very much a know-how that some people have been asking people out at prom. Or you go on a prom night, you take your date to prom. Like, I think that's the most common thing, actually. It's not that you ask someone out at prom, it's like you ask someone out to go to prom with you. And that's usually how it goes. I did not do that. I went with a group of friends to prom as a group. My other set of friends stayed and decided, you know what, instead of going to prom night, we're going to have a footy night. And in retrospect, I do regret not going for the floaty night, because like I said, my prom was not the greatest. It was kind of boring, except for the ultimate dancing that happened, and I was dragged into, because I got... Oh, God. I'll tell this story real quick, because not many people are going to hear this, so it doesn't matter. But I had a reputation, because in 2012, 8 years ago now, I was... How was I? How old was I? Maybe it wasn't 2012. It might have been 2013. Anyway, it was around about 2012, 2013, when Gangnam Style had came out, the song by Psy, that became the most viewed video on YouTube for a while. And it's still, like... It's still top 5 most viewed, right? I don't think it's the most viewed video anymore. Maybe it is. I can't remember. It hit like 3 billion views or something stupid like that, which is insane how that can work. But yeah, that was the start of the whole K-pop trend, wasn't it? Really. So yeah, I got a reputation for that because one day, I think it was end of year, just last day of school for the year. In the canteen, someone had like an actual like a boombox thing, like an actual portable stereo. And they were playing Gangnam Style in the cafeteria quite loudly. And I got up on the table and danced it because for some reason I knew the dance. I don't know why I knew it, but I knew the dance. And that became a bit of a reputation I had for the next 2 years of school. So yeah, that was interesting. And of course, when we got to prom night, that became a thing as well. So that is my memory of the last couple of years of school and prom, was Gangnam Style, interestingly. Anyway, enough about my embarrassing history. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. Leave a like if you did, as per usual. Leave a comment on what you thought of the episode. If you've had an embarrassing prom story like that, please let me know as well, so I don't have to share in just my own shame. But yeah, are proms actually that common in Japanese society? Like, they make it out here that proms are not as common in Japan as opposed to the Western world. Any Japanese viewers, please let me know if that is still the case, or if that's kind of become more of a thing as Western culture spreads over there more and more as time goes on. And yeah, don't forget to hit subscribe as well to see next week's episode, which will be back on this Friday slot, as well as the rest of the summer 2020 shows you can find on my channk. Thank you for watching, and until next time, see you guys later.